So.
Important question, living space wise, for both of you. Do you have a top sheet? I am recording.
Oh, I didn't know we were going right into it.
I didn't know we were recording either.
We're going into it. I don't know if I'm going to start it here or start it in 5 minutes, but
we don't need to clap.
No, we don't need to clap because we're not in person. You can clap if you want to.
Sam,
not too loud. Not too loud. Quiet clap. Quiet clap. Let's not blow people's eardrums out. Do you have a top sheet?
Hell no.
Yes.
Joey, why do you not have a top sheet?
I got new colored sheets right behind me that I have to put on.
What are they? Navy?
No, I'm going away from my navy and gray comforter to something different.
What color scheme are you going for?
My sheets are white and gray now, and my comforter will be just gray. Really
light gray, dark gray.
Everything in my room is gray. My desk, my dresser, everything's
your
gray.
Heart. Okay.
My heart, my everything. Yeah. So I am a non-top sheet guy, and I've been a blue comforter guy since I went out of the crib, I guess. I've always had a blue comforter. So
what is up with that? Guys having blue comforters.
Sam, yours is not blue. Yours is white. Doesn't get dirty.
I know. I mean, that's what you wash your sheets for, buddy.
I know.
A little quick wash here and there. A little.
How often do your sheets get washed?
Great question. Sam?
I would say every other week to every 3 weeks if I'm traveling.
I would say if I'm on my best behavior, it's every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Honestly, same. Glad we had that talk.
Realistic. It's a schlep. I mean, like, it's not an easy thing to do. Let's be honest.
It's not a schlep, but it's annoying because it's not a schlep, but it's annoying because you're like, what if I want to take a nap? I can't because my sheets are in the wash.
It's a schlep for people like me whose laundry room is in their basement.
Well, yeah, for sure. But also, like, I complained to, like, whoever about that, right? I'm like, well, I don't want to wash my sheets because then it's, like, the whole day, like, if I put them in before I go to work and take them out when I get home from work or whatever, I got to, like, make my bed. Whoever will be like, well, don't you have a backup pair of sheets? I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to get those out.
I always get the backup pair out if I can.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Also, I realized I apologized because I said, Sam, I told you I would not use a microphone since you don't have your mic, and here I am with a microphone.
I got my mic.
Oh, that sounds so much better when you hold it up to your mouth.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry.
That's how it's supposed. Oh my God,
Joey, it sounds
like I just hold it right here?
Like a cave echoing.
I asked you guys,
but I didn't know you had a microphone, and you could sound even 100 times better.
I'm coming off of recording my show, and when I record my show, we don't want the microphone because we post a lot of clips, and when I'm known to talk like this and move all over the place when I got my mic, so it's bad we post the whole entire episode with the interview on Twitter, because that's where most of our engagements are, and it's hard to fit my fat face into a cube when it's moving around all the time. So for my producer, editor / co-host, I go like this and consciously make an effort to not move. But now
keep it down.
I'm just gonna swallow my microphone and talk to you guys instead.
Put it down. Sam Panitch, Joey Lane, welcome back. Is this round 4, seeing other people?
It is.
Yeah.
I can't believe you had a lot on. Just crazy.
Listen, of course I want you back. I can't believe you keep coming back. Like, you should start charging me, honestly. But it's really the listeners that want you back. Guys, this is the craziest thing in the world. I looked back at the 2023 episodes and I put them in order of, like, best performing. The number 1 best performing episode was not Sam and Joey. It was the Jonas Brothers.
Shoot.
The number 2 was Sam and Joey. Number 3 best performing episode of 2023 was another Sam and Joey episode. And the number 4 best performing episode of Seeing Other People in 2023 was Sam and Joey's 3rd episode. So Sam and Joey are back. Thank you, guys. What is it about you two?
I just want to. It's nothing to do with me.
No, it's all Joey. I want to thank Alana because I believe I did one of these with Parker.
You did.
And then I was supposed to do one just me. And I was like, hold on, because I was nervous. And I was like, I have a crazy idea. Would you let my friend come on? I promise. He's like a great personality. He's got his own podcast. She was like, I mean, sure, I guess. Like, what's his podcast on? I was like, it's about Ohio State basketball. And I was like,
it's totally relevant.
all right. I
Okay.
FaceTimed Joey. I was like, Joe, can you come on this podcast with me? He's like, all right. Thank God you guys hit it off, because this is like my favorite group chat that I have. We just have the text going nonstop, and I'm excited for round 4. It's gonna be fun.
It is a great group chat. I'm so glad you tapped Joey in to be your wingman here. And Joey, it's not always your fault, even if we pretend it is, whatever it may be. But in this case, maybe it is your fault that you guys are so high ranking. So
Yeah, just
maybe it's a good thing.
You can blame me for everything. For those, I don't even know what part of recording we're on, really, because we've stopped and started because of, I guess, my technical issues that I didn't change a single thing, but all of a sudden they're good now. So yeah, you can blame me for anything and everything, good or bad. I'm used to it at this point. So I'm happy
I'll
to
roll
be
with
here.
that.
I know I share the same thoughts and messages with Sam to say thank you for allowing us to have this platform and grow our personal brands to the point where they have been. And we owe it all to Alana. We owe it all to the Seeing Other People audience. And
You owe me everything.
we're just happy to be here. Should be fun. 4th time is crazy. It's like this is like, it's like a dynasty.
Quarterly.
It's like a dynasty. Yeah. That's what we are. We're a dynasty.
We are. Should we make a whole spin-off show?
Yeah.
That's just what you need, probably another podcast, right?
Yeah, don't tempt me. I shouldn't tempt myself. But no, seriously, you guys are the best. I'm so excited to have you back. Thank you for always coming back when I ask you to. And it seems like everyone else is very excited because I posted a question box earlier today, like less than 10 hours ago, asking people to send in questions for an Ask the Guys Anything episode with Sam and Joey. And this is like record-breaking number of questions. Like we're not even going to get through like 10% of them. So everyone is excited to have you. I'm excited to have you. January, this episode is coming out at a time where people are, trying to kick their New Year's resolutions into full gear. They're trying to put themselves out there more. They have a goal to go on, more dates this year or just be more vulnerable or try and date different people. So I feel like this is a really good time for this episode where people get to send in their questions and you get to give your answers and it's going to be great. So are we ready to dive in head first?
Can I ask Sam a question first? Sam, why do you have only one AirPod in, Sam? It's weird. Oh, you have 2. Okay. Question answered.
Any other questions?
No other questions.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Positive.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I have questions. The first one being, are either of you single?
I'll answer for Joey, and Joey can answer for me. Joey Lane.
Yes, Sam's single. Yes, Joey's single before Sam says anything.
Damn, all right.
Follow-up question. There are known to be a record-breaking number of DM slides into both of your Instagrams after each time you come on Seeing Other People. So what hasn't panned out there? What hasn't worked or led you from a DM slide with a Seeing Other People listener into a relationship or even a situationship?
Sam, go ahead.
I'll start calling on one of you.
Now I get to answer? Okay. First off, I want to commend everyone who has slid into anyone's DMs, but in this case, my DMs are Joey's DMs. I know that takes a lot of courage. It's not an easy thing to do at all. So I give you all a ton of credit. I think we last spoke a little bit about some of the ground rules for sliding into DMs, and I'm proud to say it sounds like many of you have learned from that, which is fantastic. One of them being, come up with a funny line so you stand out, not to brag, but, Joey's a Big Ten basketball personality. He's pretty famous. He gets a lot of DMs all the time. So you have to stand out with a kind of catchy DM. In addition, making your profile public for more than 10 hours after you send the DM, like, again, Joey gets dozens, if not hundreds of DMs a month.
Joey,
And
do you?
No,
yeah.
no.
All right, maybe dozens over a year or two. But
Hundreds.
anyways,
Dozens a decade.
most of them are from me. But anyways, like totally commend everyone. Great job in doing that. Lana, your question was, why haven't they worked out? I will have you know, I have been on dates with seeing other people listeners. Um, so really impressed by folks that did slide in. I guess the big differentiator was they lived in my city. So when you live in my city, that certainly tends to help me take you out on a date. But yeah, kudos to everybody that's sliding in DMs. Keep sliding in. You never know. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, Joey doesn't respond. Like, Joey doesn't respond to me half the time either, and I'm one of his best friends. So you're all good. Keep sliding in.
That was a great explanation. A lot of takeaways there. Thank you, Joey.
I think the theme will be that Sam gives a lot more well thought out. Serious is a mean word to me, but serious may be a better way to explain Sam's answers versus mine. Sam definitely got more than me, 100%. I also moved to a different city, so location for sure. And then I was still getting half the people that, and shout out to you for sending messages. I've been there, not easy, like Sam said. The roses that everyone sent me was hilarious. I appreciate that. That's funny. It still is the best thing that you could possibly do. But I have not gone on any date with seeing other people, listeners. I don't even know if I've responded, which that's on me, not on you. But I still feel like every person is private that reaches out to me, which I just immediately am like, what are we doing? So maybe that's my I like, what's going on in your, I just, nobody that is age 23 to 30 or more or older is going to respond to a DM where if they can't see what you look like. And that's not saying you or anybody is not a beautiful woman / guy. Like, I'm sure you're all very pretty, but if we can't see you, then we just don't know. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. That's why you're on Hinge. You don't match with guys on Hinge who maybe they're funny, but they've got to be at least kind of good looking in your eyes. They got to be your type. It's the same thing. So that's the harsh reality. Got to see what you look like. I feel like we've said that every single time on seeing other people, and if fast forward 2 weeks from now, I'm still going to get messages from Elizabeth that has a private profile, and it is what it is.
I'm going to give some advice to the girls with a private profile here so they can get Joey Lane. He didn't let me do this pitch, but I'm going to do it anyway. Over 6 foot, handsome Jewish guy, just got a new job, his own apartment with a roommate in Chicago. I'm not going to say what neighborhood, so no one stalks him. He calls basketball games for the Big Ten Network for Ohio State basketball. I could go on and on. He's funny. He's just great at life. If you maybe don't want to go public on your profile because you're concerned about security or that's not your thing, maybe just take a screenshot of a couple scrolls on your Instagram feed and send it to Joey in the DM so that he can look at you.
Do not
I think that's a great idea.
That's going to be too much pressure for Joey.
That's honestly, if somebody did that without your guidance, I would have been like, you know what? I respect it. I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
Because you get it. Like that, at least you get it. But don't, unless you said like, Sam told me I should do this, then that's like totally playing into the bit, and that's hilarious. Like, good on you. But don't do that with random Joe Schmo off the street. I think that's a little.
Do it with Joey. Don't do it with anyone else. God, I'm so excited to see what these DMs end up looking like. I will say, formal announcement though, Chicago, listen up. Now's your chance. Before
formal announcement. He's coming home.
Joey Lane has arrived. But yeah, you have a whole new pool of potential partners now. What's that been like? Have you started dating in Chicago? Does it look similar, different to dating in Columbus?
Tell you what, there's a larger population of Jewish women here, that's for sure, which we don't need to dive into that, but it's relevant. But we were talking, I don't know if it makes the show or not, because we were talking and I guess recording for minutes before we actually started the relevant content. But I've been to and fro a lot of different places, including back and forth to Columbus. Like I've been here for a month now, and I've been to Columbus 4 times already. So it's hard to be in any sort of routine, whether it be work or personal life. I have gone on a few dates with pre-existing relationships, not really anything new and exciting, but there's no details beyond that because my mom
Fair.
and my mom and my sister are listening, I'm sure.
Hi,
So
mom and sister.
That's yeah, the answer is yes, but not like I haven't gotten into full hardcore mode because like if hardcore, that makes it sound really bad. But the routine post Christmas time as we're recording this will be a lot easier to say, I have more than one day a week available to, if there
Yeah.
was a nice lady out there to enjoy an adult beverage with or something. It could be a
A
possibility
nice
because
lady.
a nice lady, isn't that what Sam? Isn't that what you're looking for too? A nice lady?
Yeah, of course.
Do you guys consider yourselves to be boys, guys, or men? Because to
What
me,
about a dude? I'm
I
a
do
dude.
a dude. I don't want to be called a woman. Ew, I'm not a woman. I'm a girl. I'm not a lady. Don't you dare call me a lady. I'm a girl.
I think I am definitely not a man. I am more of a child than anything. I would say guy is probably the best. If it was multiple choice, that's what I would select for myself as guy. Sam's a man.
That's how you identify.
Yeah,
Guy.
Sam's a man. He cooks, he cleans, he goes to the grocery store.
Sam, do you feel like a man?
No, I don't. I really don't. I've worked on it. I think I've gotten more things accomplished. I know how to fix a couple things now, but like I don't feel like I'm a grown ass adult, but I am. Like I look in the mirror, and Joey and I have been working for a while in multiple cities.
You've been
Right? We
working
have
longer
our
than me
careers. Yeah,
because
all
you're
right, we
old.
get it. I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I'm established, right? But I still feel like a kid. But I will say, I have a horrible habit where when I'm at work, I'll be talking to someone. I'll say that girl that works with me, and every time my dad does a good job, he yells at me. He's like, "They're not girls; they're women." And I don't mean it disrespectfully. They're just if they're younger on my team, I call them a girl. But I need to stop doing that. So yeah, I'm a man. Grr.
All right, so
Jersey
here we
boy.
have a man, a guy / child, and a girl in
I
this recording.
I am hell bent on nice, pretty ladies. What's wrong with that?
Oh,
Yeah.
lady sounds so old. Lady's older than a woman.
Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess you
like
don't really
when I
say
think
a
of a lady,
middle-aged
I think of
lady.
like
You say an old lady.
no, I think of someone above the age of 70.
All right, so I'll stop with lady. Heard.
But no, but go with what works for you. I'm just telling you, I don't identify as a lady or a woman. I'm a girl. This is the problem. We can never get to the questions, but there are so many. Okay, let's start with this. How do guys feel about their friend dating a girl they used to date? Is that fine? If it's not fine, do you blame him or her?
What about it? Never mind.
I knew you
What,
were about to
Joey?
go there.
What?
No, I
No, we're
can't.
not
I
going
can't. I
there.
can't. We can't. Can't.
All
Unfortunately,
We
right.
off
can.
limits. No, it's off limits for sake of both of us. Go ahead, Sam.
I think it's a tough one, right? What I found interesting about being in New York City was in like the Jewish crew that I ran with, everybody knew everybody. Everybody went to the same bars. Everybody worked in similar spaces, similar pre games, and then all started dating each other. It felt just like college on steroids in Murray Hill. And so I almost like got used to it when I was in New York. Now I'm in DC. I have a much more diverse friend group, both from like a religious perspective and a like professional work perspective. So it hasn't happened very much in DC. But I think like an overall rule of thumb is how long did they date? How serious was it? How close of a friend is this? Do you think that they still have feelings? Would they be upset if you dated? Do you need to talk to them about it? Like, but at the end of the day, like, you gotta follow your heart. Love is love, man. Like, sometimes you just gotta do what you think's right.
Uh, me personally, would I've been down this road before. I think it's too hard for me personally, no matter, given that you are genuinely friends with the person, like closer than acquaintances, closer than what's up, big dog, when you're walking down the street and you don't talk to them for months, like closer than that. No matter what the relationship was, whether it was in high school or college or beyond, I would have a tough time. If they actually dated, boyfriend and girlfriend, months and months, serious relationship, you knew them as a couple, that would be tough. Unless, like, I don't know, there's got to be a scenario where it's okay out there, but I still just, unless like, unless your dude, your guy, your bro is like, uh, yo, like, Sam, I know it's weird, it might be awkward, but like I can tell like she's into you, you guys would make a great couple. Like, unless like he like force feeds you the green light, I just can't imagine a situation where Joey Lane, would feel remotely comfortable with that. Doesn't mean other people can't feel different ways, but that's at least my
Yeah.
perspective.
I get that. I think I agree with both of you. I think, Sam, those are really good questions to ask when considering if it's okay. And Joey, I agree with you. It either works for you or it doesn't. And sometimes you might have to try it to figure out, like, am I okay with this? Does it feel weird? I think there could be an added layer of like jealousy, or, what happens when you see that person and they're your friend, but they're this person's ex? Does it make things uncomfortable? Like, there's just a lot added on and piled on that you have to deal with, and questions you'll have to answer, and conversations that will come up. But yeah, I don't think it's like a guy versus girl opinion thing in this case. I think it's just personal.
I also have friends in my immediate close group of friends in Chicago that are engaged, and they dated somebody else in our group of friends. It was in high school or middle school, maybe even, like, but it's still, and now they're engaged, right? So like and then I also have, and they're great. They're very good friends still. But then there's also high school relationships where my buddies, like, it's still like a weird bit in like speed bump in the relationship where like there are some awkward jokes made that are like, haha, it's not really that funny. Like, you actually
Yeah,
really were a dickhead when that happened. Like, and I don't look at you the same way now, so I, the other side, it is both ways as well. I see people come out in a great standing, and some people who there's definitely a blemish on the relationship for sure.
definitely. The next question says, are guys actually bad texters? We're 1 month in and we've been on 6 dates, but some days there aren't any texts. Is this normal?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a stereotype for guys.
I think it's way more
I
for
think
girls.
I think everybody can
Maybe
be a
that's
bad
just my
texter.
experience.
But what is like bad? So, okay, I've been thinking about this whole texting thing a lot. You can like someone, maybe want to take them on another date. What are you gonna gain from like having meaningless back and forth for 2, 3 weeks, like over the holidays in between dates? Like, I get you want to express interest, like totally get that. But doesn't part of you want to just be like, hey, I liked you, I like you, let's set up a time for when we're back. Here's the time. Cool. Go enjoy your break. Go enjoy your holiday with your family. Like, if you want to check in and send me a cute video or like whatever, something that comes to mind, something you cooked, like, cool. But I don't know. It's hard. I think as I've gotten older, I care about it less.
I think what you described sounds like an ideal scenario, but we're so conditioned to get this instant gratification from social media, and we want that constant validation. So this, as soon as somebody doesn't text us after a date, we assume they're no longer interested.
I struggle with, even before you go on the date with them, it's like, how much should you text someone maybe
Mm-hmm.
that no matter how you met them, how much should you text them? How quickly should you respond? That whole game, right? But it's like a weird balance of, in a perfect world, again, it's enough where you know they're interested and you can plan everything, blah blah blah. But you don't want to go to the first date and not have anything to talk about, right? Like if you've talked 24/7 for 4 days leading into the date, you're going to have less content to speak on. From my perspective, I know that me, Joey Lane, for a number of different reasons, because of my job, what I like to do, what my hobbies, everything. Like I'm on my phone all the time. Like if Sam calls me, I answer. If he texts me, I respond in 5 minutes, unless I'm really doing something that my phone is in the other room or whatever. I'm very responsive. That's just like the nature of being in sales and also being on Twitter all the time. Like I'm just always on my phone. And so for me, when there are people that I've gone on dates with or whatever that I don't know if they're playing the game of like I'm going to respond in 2 hours because I'm going to keep them waiting, or maybe they just don't have their phone with them all the time, or they don't care or whatever, and teach their own. I think it's a little bit weird just because my whole life I've been so responsive, and you know if it's not an interesting conversation, then it's not an interesting conversation. But if you genuinely are enjoying talking and texting back and forth or whatever, and you like almost are expecting a response, again, in my scenario, then it gets to be a little weird. But I don't know if guys are, there are people that are bad. There are people that are bad in the sense that they're just not on their phone all the time. Maybe that's because of their job. Maybe it's because they're in school, they're studying, whatever it is, right? They just might not be on their phone all the time. But if someone wants to talk to you, they will. Like, I mean, guys become obsessed over girls just like girls become obsessed over guys. And, you know, there are guys out there sitting there on Friday nights, sitting there praying to God that that certain name pops up on their phone, and they're talking to their boys about it. And they're just like girls gossip about all that stuff. So I think if a guy, from my perspective, again, if a guy is not texting you back, like, and it's a game, then it's a game, and hopefully that game ends once you go on a handful of dates. But if someone is not responding to you super frequently, it could very well mean that they're not interested because guys are on their phone a lot. And I think the majority of us, and Sam, you can correct me if you're wrong, like look forward to the banter and having some texting with people back and forth. Thumbs up from
Sam gave a thumbs up for those listening and not watching, since this is, after all, a podcast.
That's
That we
good.
do have a wonderful video where you can see everyone's beautiful faces here. No, I agree. And yeah, just reiterating, guys, they're just like us. To answer this person's specific question with being 1 month and 6 dates in, but some days there are no texts, I think this person, this guy, my assumption would be that they feel just stable and secure, so they don't feel the need to text every day. I think if they're still making plans with you to continue going on dates, and you feel like those dates you are connecting and getting deeper every time, and your connection is furthering, then I would not overthink what's happening in between at all. But for you, if you feel like it's not enough, then you have to communicate that and be like, oh, like, I sometimes I feel like your lack of texting equals lack of interest, because that's what I've experienced in the past. They don't know that you might be thinking that, so you got to communicate.
I would love to
If
ask that question to plenty of people out there. I haven't ever, but I feel like I should at some point now. It's a good way of phrasing it.
If a girl asked you that or said that to you, would you be like turned off by that or scared away, or would you be like, oh, that makes sense, like, I thank you for telling me?
I guess it all depends. If I
If you
like
like her.
them, then they can do no wrong. So
Yeah.
if I was on the fence, that could be, maybe depending on how I truly feel in that moment about them, that could push them one way or another over the fence or to the other side of the fence. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it, for sure. Because if they like you, they will apologize. Even if they don't like you, they should probably apologize and say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry for not responding, but you're right. That's how I feel. So sorry." And as a lady, you'd appreciate that, right?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Honesty, communication. All right, next question. Is it true that guys know 1 to 2 months in?
Couldn't tell you.
No what?
unfortunately.
If they want to be with you, if they want to commit.
No. I say yes and no. I can't really give an answer because like that hasn't really happened to me in a long time, but truthfully. But I think there's like an element of like there are plenty of guys out there that probably know quicker than that too. So like with there listen, obviously it hasn't worked out, but there are dates where I left and I was like, this girl's awesome. Like what what is there to even think about? And so I think that happens more often than you think too. So it's like a month is like almost like cementing maybe what they think on the first date or two. Like they might I mean, we've talked about this on episodes before. Like me and Sam get home from dates, text each other, play Fortnite, whatever, and we're talking to each other and we're like, yeah, we met our wife. Like all the time we say that. So, has it worked out?
Got a lot of wives out there.
Has it worked out?
But it's like
not
also
at one time,
sarcastic.
But it's
What's
definitely
that?
sarcastic. It's definitely sarcastic.
I read that question as, do you know after 1 to 2 months if you want to marry someone? Like commit. I think that's different than like going on dates with someone or saying I want to be exclusive with someone or making someone your girlfriend. I think those all happen at different stages. If you think like a guy after 2 months knows if he wants to marry you, maybe for some, but I also think probably not for others. So yeah.
I've never understood when people are like, I knew from the second I saw them, or like on our first date, I knew. Like that just seems really outlandish.
It's all hindsight bias. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom says that about my dad for whatever it's worth.
We got to get Mrs. Lane on the podcast next.
You're full of
Absolutely
shit,
not.
Nancy.
Absolutely not. They have the funniest story because they met at my mom. This is just it's ridiculous. They met at my mom's birthday party. Like how was my dad invited if they didn't know each other? But it was a mutual friend. My mom was hammered. It's her birthday party, right? She'd like any girl out there for I think it was her 30th birthday party. And my dad essentially asked her out kind of then and there. My mom claims that she doesn't really remember who the guy was or anything, but knew she had a date, went on the date and was like, oh, wow, this guy's great. I'm going to marry him, to her neighbor. So that's what she says. So
Scotty.
Yeah.
I suppose if you
Scott.
always tell someone I'm going to marry this person, then eventually.
That's what I said to her. I said, you probably said that after every date. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can confidently say every person that I said I was going to marry, it crashed and burned with. And I did not say I was going to marry Jake after our first date. And here we are. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Note to self.
Yep.
Nobody's the one.
All right. We got another quote, is it true question. This question is based off of this popular concept that an influencer has kind of talked about a lot called box theory. So the question says,
is this the influencer that I have beef with?
No, it's not. It says, is it true that guys put girls into two boxes, hookup box or girlfriend box, and do so within the first or second date? If so, what traits and things determine this?
No, I think there's many other boxes.
Oh, what are
there's a I want to be friends with you box. There's a I don't ever want to talk to you again box. There's other boxes.
Can somebody move from one box to another, or once they're in that box, they are permanently in that box? Can somebody go from hookup box to girlfriend box and vice versa?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I think you can. Yeah. But also, like, I think it's sorry, not hilarious. I appreciate you asking this question. I think it's hilarious because Joey and I never even heard of these boxes before.
Yeah,
girls have all these theories in their heads.
So this is a very popular theory, and
there's
the
definitely
theory
3 boxes.
The theory says that once you're in a box, you can't move. You will never move. I actually do think there is a third box in the theory.
Who's the influencer?
I don't know if Tinks started this, but Tinks is like where I've heard it.
I know who that is.
Her box theory. Hold on. Let's see
Tinks.
if there's a third box in here.
Only influencer I know is Big
Okay,
Cat.
yeah, it's either hookup box, girlfriend box, or like not interested at all. and you can't move.
I'm sure there's truth to that, but I think you can move. I mean, what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what? You can move. Don't worry, ladies. You guys are you guys are able to move.
Cool. Glad we covered that. Okay. Somebody said, so I was chatting with a guy on Hinge and he asked me for my Instagram, which I hate, but I decided to give it to him anyway. He then proceeded to unmatch me on Hinge. I'm trying not to take it personally, but I'm confused and I don't understand what his thought process was. I'm sure it was a blessing in disguise and it wasn't meant to be, but it really bothers me and makes me feel insecure that after pulling up my private feed, he felt the need to unmatch me.
Well, I got bad news for you. It's exactly what it was. I mean, it sucks. It's bad. But like it goes back to listen, I don't know if this makes me a bad guy, but looks matter, right? I mean, like, am I crazy? Am I crazy?
But if you're already seeing them on a dating app, you're already seeing 6 pictures. It's not like a blind DM slide and then he saw her.
You're right, yes, but Alana, to you, what would give you a better all-encompassing look at that person, their life, everything? An Instagram
Totally.
or a Hinge? I just
No,
listen,
you're right.
I'm being the bad guy. It just you a guy should not ask. I mean, every guy wants to ask, but you shouldn't ask. It's like almost funny. You shouldn't ask. You should not ask, even though everybody wants to. But like from the girls' end, it's like at that point you might just say like this guy's not the one anyway, and don't give it to him. I don't know. But it all boils down to you're on dating apps and you're liking guys and girls, whether you like it or not, with a huge portion of it, not all of it, being on, if you think they're attractive. And maybe this guy was on the fence. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I've definitely never asked someone for their Instagram, and I've never asked someone for their Snapchat on those apps, because I just feel like that's like, it just can't be a good look. Whether you want to or not, just can't be a good look. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a nice way to answer that question. It's unfortunate, but probably a blessing in disguise.
No, Joe, you're spot on, Joey. That's exactly
Thanks,
what
Sam.
happened. What
Thank
she
you, Sam.
thought happened is exactly what happened. But I would also like to say, what if you match with a guy and his 6 pictures are him skiing in a hat, him with a backwards hat on, him with a forwards hat on at a baseball game, him with a rodeo hat on, and you're like, shit, I want to know if this guy is bald or not. Nothing wrong with being bald. You just want to know. So you get his Instagram, you look him up, and you see him without a hat on, and you're like, wait, my dad's bald. He really looks like my dad. I'm not attracted anymore. And then you don't go on a date. Maybe you don't unmatch with it, whatever. Does that make you a bad person? No. You were going to see them and what they look like eventually, and you aren't attracted to that look.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're
It
not going to
also
be
might
everybody's
have
cup of tea.
nothing. It might have nothing to do with looks. It could be an overall vibe. It could be that they saw your Instagram and saw you're a mutual friend with somebody they know who maybe
Totally.
they dated, or maybe their ex is in one of your
Maybe you
pictures.
dated
Like,
their camp friend. Yeah, you have no idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
you have
totally.
no idea. So try, like, yeah, it sucks. They learned more about you and decided for one reason or another that not a match, moving on, unmatch. Like, unmatching is shitty, but
It's
whatever.
so
At least you didn't.
hardcore. Oh my God. I don't
It's
think I've
it's
ever
so
unmatched with
brutal. Oh
anybody.
my, no, me either. It's
Yeah.
so harsh. But don't sit there thinking like, what's wrong with me that this person didn't like? Which of my pictures should I like archive or delete? Like, the right person who likes you is going to like you for all of you, or the parts that they don't love about you, they're still going to appreciate and respect and embrace. And so don't sit there thinking like, what's wrong with me, or what do I have to change about my Instagram? Like, why are people getting turned off by it? Like, no, you're not going to be for everyone. Not everyone's going to be for you.
Exactly. And I think, listen, my Hinge, I have 6 pictures of me with a full beard, and now I have 2 holes in my beard. So you never know. Things change. So
It's true.
I
don't take
mean,
it personally.
it's also safe to say that everybody on their Hinge, guys or girls, men or ladies, have pictures from years ago on there also, because they look better years ago. Like, it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
You guys should look up Joey's LinkedIn. It's honestly, how many years old is that, Joe?
It's my.
You look like a neophyte.
I mean, yeah, my headshot. The last time I took a headshot for my last company before I changed jobs was 4 years ago. So yeah, I have new headshots, which I don't know
Baby Joey.
when they'll be in. But
Oh my
yeah,
God, you look so young. Wait, it
I
is
didn't
really
even
cool though
I didn't
that
put stuff in my
when you
hair
type
back then.
in when you type in Joey Lane, the first thing to come up is ESPN. Like that's pretty baller. Ba-doom, tsh.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Joey.
What's the
So
first?
cool.
Let's on the flip side. Let me type in Sam Panitch and see what the first.
Sam
LinkedIn. You're LinkedIn.
Panitch.
And Elevation
Thanks,
Nation.
guys.
LinkedIn.
And Maryland. It's Maryland
Hey.
Today. See?
Thanks,
Like,
guys.
I mean, it's not ESPN, but it's close.
One day, for some reason, don't know what
One day.
reason that will be. Okay.
Forbes.
I dated yes. No, I was gonna say one day he'll be ESPN, but I don't know what
No, right.
reason.
Yeah, I'm thinking Forbes is the equivalent for him being the Forbes.
Yeah, fair. I dated a great guy for 7 months, ended it because of a huge transition in his life. If things end on good terms and I provide him space, is he more likely to want to reconnect in the future to try again?
Cut that bitch off. No, I think you gotta move on. Sorry. That was
Wait,
my
no,
harsh.
I don't. Wait, I totally disagree. It depends. What is this transition? Like, did he move continents? Then yeah, like of course you're not gonna. But like, I don't know what the. If you guys are ending because not because you don't like each other, it's because of other things. I think that if you ended on good terms, uh, if that's the truth, I don't see why you can't rekindle. I don't know.
No, I think that's super unhealthy.
I I think
I,
yes, ending on good
I
terms.
totally disagree.
It depends. Ending
What
on
is
good
yeah? It
terms,
depends on the situation.
obviously, like, yes, someone's more likely to want to reconnect with someone they ended on good terms with than someone they ended
Of
on
course.
bad terms with. You should always strive to end on good terms, but it wouldn't be good. Like, I would not want you to be sitting there waiting for them to want to reconnect because that might never happen, you know? And
You're essentially putting all your eggs while you're trying to go out and quote unquote date other people. You're just waiting for them to hopefully come around and holding on to the hope that things might work out, which I just think is unhealthy. And everybody always goes through that at some point in your life, right? You go through a breakup, you're hoping that if you treat this person well or you treat them so bad that they come back to you and talk to you or whatever. It's like, of course, you're allowed to go through that. I just think it's not fair to all the other people that and yourself going on dates with. Look at we convinced Joey.
I agree with that. I'm not saying you should sit around and wait. Like, don't go on any dates. Like, they'll come back around. That's not at all what I'm saying. But like, if it happens to, like, if I just do not see that as burn the bridge, never talk to them again at all. I don't see that at all. Or maybe
yeah,
that's just because I have hope
don't
for
burn the bridge.
society.
Don't burn the bridge, but don't wait around with hope either.
Yeah, we can a little common ground there.
Look at it as a breakup and try and heal and go through the breakup and get back out there. And if it's meant to be, it will be. Okay. This question says, from a guy, what are some ways to tell if a girl is interested in you? I have social autism, so it's difficult for me to tell sometimes.
It's a great question. I think putting in consistent effort to communicate is one way. So that can be either starting a conversation over text, giving you a call while you're walking. I mean, I think it goes very similarly to how do you know if a friend enjoys you or spending time with you or your friendship? Very similar. I call Joey and I call Alana to express my friendship to them and check in and make sure that they're doing okay. And so effort goes a long way. If you see someone putting in effort with you, I think you can kind of tell that they're liking you. In terms of like a romantic situation, it's very tough to read sometimes, right? Um, Formalizing things and just being open with your communication of like, hey, are we going on a date or a friend date? And maybe I'll tell you a story that'll make you feel a little bit better. I had a girl who I had a crush on my entire like sixth grade through high school. And I was always in the friend zone. We were always such good friends. She was a really popular girl and I always had a huge crush on her. And then I went to college and I got super confident. And so I asked her out on a date. And she then said something on the date of like, oh, this is a quasi date. I didn't know what that word meant at the time. I had to Google it. But then I was like, oh, damn, like this isn't a date. She was just kidding. it tore me apart because I thought I finally had a date with her. And at the end of the date, she was like, "Well, it's so weird that our date didn't end in like a kiss. I thought that went so well." And I was like, "You told me it was a quasi date." Anyways, my point being with this story is sometimes there are mixed signals and mixed communication, no matter who you are. And so you just have to be super clear with your intentions and yeah, go from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
Joey?
I'll give a way quicker. Not that Sam's answer was bad. I agree with everything you said. Quicker answer for me: if somebody text me first, 100%, right? Like that's the age old thing. No matter what it is, like let's say you guys haven't exchanged the message in 30 hours or whatever it is, and if they send me whatever, right, like a picture of their food, hey, what's up, what's going on, whatever, awesome. Also, like sending like on social media, like sending funny TikToks or memes on Instagram or me I don't know that there aren't many females that consume Twitter the same way I consume Twitter, so maybe not Twitter, but TikTok and Instagram. Like if you send like a funny video you see on TikTok, like I do with Sam and my other buddies, because that's how we stay in touch and maintain the friendship that we have. Like I think that goes a long way too. So those are like the quick and easy things that I think, like it's all the same thing. Just send us something. Send not like, hey, this song reminds me of you. Like that's like corny and cheesy. Like send like a TikTok of someone falling off a bike down a mountain. Like that's funny. Stuff like that.
Yeah, or something that reminds you of something that the two of you talked about, whether it be on a date or in a passing
Totally.
conversation.
Yeah.
Just like a, hey, I'm thinking of you type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if you find yourself in a situation where you're really unsure, be bold. Like you'd rather know than sit there wondering. So you can just be really vulnerable and say, like, I'm not that great at like reading signals, and I'm definitely like you, where I enjoy spending time with you. I'm curious if you are interested in me in that same way or not. And if not, that's okay. I would just rather know. It's always better to know. It's scary
So
to ask, but it's
what
so much better to know.
on the flip side, Alana, is it if you, the guy, right, me and Sam, like we're tired of instigating every conversation like over and over again, like eventually from our perspective, right, is there a point where it's just like, maybe the girls are getting annoyed, like that we're just like, hey, good morning, what are you up to today? Like that's not something I would ever send, but like is there a point where it's like, all right, this guy is like trying way too hard?
If the feeling is not mutual, then yes. The good morning text, the constant, any type of constant communication. If I don't like you and you're continuing to reach out to me, it's just going to further
Yes.
me
So
not
yes.
liking you.
So yes,
Yes.
you can
But
be annoying.
it goes back to if you like someone, they can do no wrong.
So then follow up to the follow up, because I feel like this goes both ways. This goes both ways, guys or girls, and we can answer. I know what I think from a guy's perspective, but from a girl's perspective, if like if it's been like if someone's out of town or it's been days or whatever, right, and there is no traction, like is it bad on it's from my perspective, I'm just like, no, like it's just I'm just sending a message like as if nothing happened, like,
Yeah.
but why don't girls ever do that?
Because of these freaking theories and
Okay.
rules,
All right.
and they're conditioned to feel like they're not allowed to because they'll
You're
scare
allowed
the
to.
guy away. Yeah, you're allowed
Me and
to.
Sam, influencer, we have different boxes, and the boxes are the boxes are it's one box, and it's we hope that you text us back first. It's one box.
One buck.
New influencer box
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah. I thought of something the other day, and I feel like it's a good example of what we were talking about, where like if somebody likes you, or if you like somebody, then their actions or their words or communication frequency is not going to rub you the wrong way or turn you off. I had a guy once, I had told him that we had gone on a few dates. I liked him, but he started to do like big gesture after big gesture, and I did not feel like I was there yet. And I had to work late. This was when I was still working at Hinge. I had to work late one night, and it was me at our office at around 10:30 p.m. It was me and the cleaning lady, and there was a knock on the door, and she was like, "Did you like order food or something?" I'm like, "No." So she opens it, and she's like, "It's for you." The guy showed up at my office with a bottle of wine, being like, "Oh, like I really wanted to see you. I missed you. Like, let's have a drink." And I'm like, "It is 10:30. I'm sitting here working. I want to go the fuck home. And you're showing up here." I was like, that is so nice, but like I'm kicking you out. You can't say I need to finish working. I like have a deadline. But if I really liked him, that would have been the most chivalrous, most incredible, thoughtful, magical thing that I would have referred to in our vows and told our grandkids about. But I wasn't there. I didn't like him that much. And so to me, it felt like it was too much and suffocating. Okay. Do you believe in right person, wrong time?
Yeah, but I don't believe there's only one right person.
Whoa,
That's my answer.
profound.
That's all I have to say. I'm trying to
I
move
believe
on
in
to
it
get through
too.
more questions.
I believe in that too. Yeah.
That there's yes, but there's not just one right person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let me just share a story on that. So
Quick answer, more questions. Story
quick,
time.
quick story.
No, that's
Gonna
the
be
more
really quick.
that is the story here. That is how
Yeah,
we operate.
there was this girl. I met her when I was very little. We were childhood friends. I was getting
What's her
bullied.
name?
She was really you'll get it in a minute. She was really nice to me. And as we got older, she was my only friend. She's my only friend, and everyone always picked on me. Then I went off and I went and I joined the military. And then Joey, do you get the reference yet? Do I have to keep going? All right. Long story
What
short,
movie is
Alana, Joey and I
this?
planned before.
So-
Yeah, Joey and I planned
It
before
sounds
this.
like a Dixie
I was
Chicks song.
I was gonna try to sneak in one of our answers to be a movie. I'm gonna keep going until you guys hit that, Alana.
Oh
Then
no,
I go off
I'm
to
horrible
war.
at this game. We'll be here all night. We'll never
Oh
get to
my
another question
god!
again.
I go
Sam, you
off to
shouldn't have
war.
said
I
what
come
the.
back. Then I
Why would
go
you
to
choose a movie where you
DC.
go to war?
I'm with MLK, and I bump into her. She's with the Black Panthers, and then
Oh, it's Captain America.
Forrest Gump, guys.
That's what I
Oh.
thought, but I don't remember him going to. Okay, that would have been my guess. I was gonna say is her name Jenny,
Yeah,
but I was like,
whatever.
I don't do movie references. I would never guess it, so I can't be right.
The
All
whole
right.
point of that bit was to make it realistic so that we could just go on with the show and not have to qualify what
You
we're
didn't
doing
try.
here. Didn't have a chance to.
Fair enough. All right, we tried. Sorry, Alana. Go ahead.
Why would you use a movie where you go to war? I mean, instantly everyone's like, what?
Okay, so the next question says, when should you introduce your significant other to your parents? And maybe I would change
No,
this question for us here to say, when would you guys introduce your significant other to your parents?
good, better phrasing, Alana.
Got you.
Um,
Done this a timer for.
I would not introduce anybody to my parents that wasn't my quote unquote girlfriend.
I agree with that. I was going to say, once it's official and you feel like confident that this is a relationship worth investing your parents' time and energy into, like they have to pretend or start to like this person. So, do you really want them to do it like 10 times, or would you rather them only have to do it a couple times?
How long
And
after
listen,
like
my mom
becoming official? What would your mom do?
my mom, if I went on one date with a girl, she'd be like, I want to hang out with her. I'm sure, she's great. So,
Wow, you should have her take over your Hinge.
That's okay. That's quite all right.
I like it. I think that's a fun experiment.
Better her than my sister.
The Jewish moms dating for their sons.
It's a good show.
That'd be that. It would be pretty funny. I'm not anti.
Jake came up with the concept to actually
anti.
have like the Jewish moms go on dates with the other Jewish moms.
I think that's a great dating show.
If anybody steals it, fine, you can produce it, but like involve me, please. Credit me, credit Jake, involve us.
This is recorded and dated, so if anyone steals this, I think we can sue them.
I
So you're good.
agree.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks. Do we know any lawyers?
My
We
dad's a
do.
lawyer. My dad's a
Great.
lawyer.
Perfect.
Shocker.
Classic.
Okay.
Classic.
How long after someone becomes your official like boyfriend or girlfriend? Like, is there a certain time range, or like you just it's the
No.
next big step after that?
When it feels right and
Yeah, I
you
mean,
feel
like-
like they're comfortable enough to go do it.
Yeah.
And also, like, some parents don't live in the same state, so it's not as easy as just like picking a perfect time.
Totally.
You know,
Good point.
it might just be the next realistic time.
I have friends who dated for like 5 years before they met, or one of the parents, or they got engaged even like before the parents met or something like that. So there's a lot of logistics involved. I think, and hopefully he's okay with me sharing this, but my oldest brother, Andrew, met someone in like September, and in October, he asked me if I thought it would be too soon for him to invite her to Thanksgiving. And I said, well, how would you feel if she invited you to Thanksgiving? Would you feel like, oh, that's too soon? Or would you feel excited and honored? And he was like, wow, that's a really good way to put it. No, I would be super excited. And so he invited her to Thanksgiving. So I think that's a really good way to put it. You don't have to.
What month?
But you know what? They met and things picked. At that point, it was 2 months, and then it was 3 months by the time Thanksgiving came around. But some relationships move faster. They're in their mid-30s.
Yep.
So
that's fair.
Yeah, you don't have to also wait for them. Like, you could be the one to ask if the relationship's moving forward. Keep it going. Is a woman 8 years older than you a turnoff?
No.
Yeah.
Sam, the man, says no. Joey, the guy child, says yes.
For what? For a relationship? I mean, yeah, for me. Yes, for me, for a relationship.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's all personal. I don't
34 years old, like, not saying that's old. That just, the people I know that are that age, like, it's just a different life than what I live.
How old are you?
Oh, well, 26.
Math. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick math.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I don't know, like, the people that I work with who are around that age, my coworkers, my ex-coworkers, like, I just know that the lives that they live versus the life that I live / want to live. Unless you've gone on 3 dates and you're like, oh my God, wow, I didn't know you were 34 years old. But that's just my honest answer.
No, I think that makes sense. I also think as you get older, age differences matter less, because I think being in your mid-20s and your mid-30s, those are completely different worlds, and your interests are completely different. Your values, your priorities are so different. I think my rule of thumb with age gaps is it's more about the priorities and values gap than the age gap. And so you could be in the same exact place as somebody or wanting the same exact things as somebody with a 10-year age difference, or not. It totally depends on the person and where you're both at.
100%. I think that's a great way of putting it, for sure. Not for me, though.
What makes you want to lock someone down?
Whoa.
That's a great question. I think instant compatibility with a person. So that's banter, good communication skills with them, similar like values and goals. And Joey just said, stage of your life. I think those are all important things, right? You're looking for a good match for you, not necessarily someone you have a ton in common with, but someone who's a good match for you, I think, is important. So, and sometimes I'm hopeful, like, you just feel it. Feel like, yeah, I'm a better person when I'm with this human being. I don't enjoy life as much when I'm not with this person. I want to lock them down.
I wholeheartedly agree with the second part that like if someone's really fun to be around and you're just like all I want to do is like just be around them. It's not even about like anything other than just like it's a fun time, you're laughing. You just want to like you're just like I just can't wait to see them again. And it's like that's just what it you know what it kind of boils down to. Less of the like sappy goals that you share and things that you're interested in and like we're super compatible. It's like no, like we went on a date and it was really fun, and then the next date like it still was really fun, and like you got like you just it's very easy and normal, and you're yourself, and it's just like for me it's like laughing and goofy because like I'm very goofy, then it's just like it then gives you some hope.
Yeah. It's not that serious.
It's never that
It's not
serious.
that.
Like
It's just
I can
about
tell you
finding
that.
someone you want
I
to
can tell you
keep
that
spending
much.
time with and who you have fun with. Like that's what dating should be, and I think that's what we should all strive to bring it back to being about instead of all the games and the rules and the checklists. It's just about like wanting to keep hanging out with someone. Boom.
Boom, boom,
Boom.
roasted.
All right. One last question, and I feel like this is one that a lot of people need to hear or need to be thinking about. I'm very curious what your answers will be. How can you tell if a guy wants something serious?
With you or in general? Oh,
Both.
you're not
Either.
answering me.
Up to
Okay.
interpretation.
I mean, I think if a guy wants something serious, you can tell by their like questions and effort on the first date and where their head's at and kind of what they speak about and what they discuss with you. Um, with you is a different ball game. But I think to both of your points, you want to find someone that you enjoy having fun with and want to spend time with them, who probably have similar morals and values to your own. That would be my get. Also, like, aren't all the dating apps making it like easy now? You can put like, I'm looking for a short-term relationship. I'm looking for a
Yeah.
long-term relationship. I'm
Do you have
looking
that filled
for a
out, Sam?
friendship. No, I don't, Joey.
Okay, good.
And what are
I
you
work
looking
at
for,
Hinge.
Sam?
I'm asking the girl that worked at Hinge.
Well, the
Oh,
problem that I think a lot of people find with that is, first of all, if someone says they're looking for a relationship and then it doesn't pan out, the person on the other side will be like, it's really messed up that they said in their profile they were looking for a relationship because they didn't want a relationship with me. And they take it very
Isn't that
personally.
why we go on dates?
I agree.
Sorry.
I agree. But also, a lot of
well,
people will
Sam.
put like open to casual and like you can select multiple. And then I think
Hmm.
that stresses people out and confuses them because it's like, well, if they're open to casual also, then are they really seriously dating? Like, are they actually looking for something serious if they're also open? So I think it's a good effort from the apps to try and help get those messages across. But I think, again, there will always be blurred lines and people will make assumptions and not
Alana,
properly.
this reminds me of one of our earlier episodes with you where we were talking about the unwritten rules of dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't the couple main apps kind of get like their own stigmas about what type of relationship you were looking for if you were to go on them?
Completely. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
absolutely.
find that interesting that if it's implied via what type of app it is, it's cool, but it's and fine. But as soon as like they actually put words to paper on the app, it's like, whoa, like I don't want to actually say I want a relationship, but I'm on Hinge, the most serious one, or I'm paying for the Locks Club or Raya or Hinge Premium, but like I don't
Sam's all
actually
over
want people to
Raya.
know. Yeah, I messaged Joey a ton on Raya. It's great.
I'm still
Um,
confused by that, but okay.
We're
when he
matched.
doesn't
We
answer
matched
me.
on Raya.
When he
Why
doesn't
is that
answer
so
me, I
crazy?
message him on Raya, and he'd way faster respond to hot girls, aka me, on Raya, as
Well,
opposed to
maybe
my
I have
text.
maybe there are girls named Sam that I've matched with, and I'm like, oh wow, this is so great. And then it's Sam Panitch.
The
Gotcha.
luckiest, the best one of all.
Uh,
Joey, what was your answer going to be?
What was the question? No,
How
I'm
can you
just
tell
kidding.
if a guy wants something serious?
Uh, I think it's less about the first date is just feeling it out. There's no like, if you go into it like, I am so encouraged that I know exactly what I'm like. That's just not, in my opinion, a good way to look at it. I guess like a first date, but after the first date, for the second date, when there's that text that's like, "Hey, I had a really fun time. I'd love to do it again. Like, let's blah blah blah." If from the time that you go on the first date to the second date, like, maybe it's what kind of date they're planning or what kind of communication there is or whatever that's what I feel like maybe is a little bit, maybe guys are a little bit more intentional if they feel like, like anybody, they want to know if it's actually like a real tangible thing, whether you like it or not. Again, like you can talk all you want over text and they can look at your Hinge and your Instagram, but until, you're face to face and the conversations you have, like that's when you really can figure out like, if it's worth it, like to yourself to, pursue this person, and the intention should reflect kind of how they're feeling, I think, between the first date and the second date, maybe.
I also think you are making a good point about the progression.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think actually if the date activity itself is progressing, like I think if a guy is continuing to ask you out, but you're just getting drinks every time, that might raise a flag. And again, red flags are just, oh, let's look into this. They don't mean write somebody off. They just mean, that's a little flag waving. I should take note of that. I think if the first date is drinks and the second date is dinner and the third date is an activity and the fourth date is maybe you're cooking for each other or something like that, and it keeps progressing to be,
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think that shows intention and like trying to deepen a connection and really get to know you and spend more sincere, intentional time with you.
I know for 100% certainty, from my perspective, that sure seems like the progression of somebody who is interested. If I did that, I wouldn't be doing it for a lady that I wasn't interested in.
Would you be doing it for a girl that you were?
I definitely would be doing it for a girl. Yep. Yep, definitely.
Amazing. You guys, was there anything that you were hoping to talk about today that you didn't get to talk about?
I mean, there always is. We're gonna have to do a part 5. It's just wars is
if you're offering, if you're buying, I'm in.
It's not the right number.
Are our recordings progressing? It's not? You don't think this is the 4th?
No, it is. It's just not the right number to end on.
We got to do one in person, I think. Yeah. The next one. I think the next one's in person.
You guys got to plan a trip to New York?
Oh, well, interesting enough. We might have something in the works, Alana, and seeing other people, listeners.
Yeah?
Wait, what? What?
Oh, I thought you meant you guys had something in the works.
Yeah, I do. Joey doesn't know yet, but I have a plan.
Okay. Count me in. I'm there.
You should break the news. You should break the news live, Sam. What in the world are you talking about?
Joey and I are going to New York to do a podcast with you, Alana, and we're going to go to a Knicks game, and it's going to be so fun.
I can't wait.
Even though Sam's coming in January and I can't come.
And I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, we know. We already established this. It's horrible.
It's pretty funny, actually.
Sam,
no, I thank you for doing this.
All right. Well, stay tuned.
Always a blast.
Stay tuned. Where can everybody find you guys? And and just friendly. Yeah. Where can everybody slide into your DMs and listen to your respective podcasts? Well, where can everybody slide into your DMs with their profiles public and listen to your podcast?
First of all, Sam hyped me up from the get-go like he always does. Let me reciprocate quickly.
Woo!
Very, very nice young Jewish man who is an incredible cook. He has a great smile and a great beard, and he's got great hair. He's so friendly. He could talk to a wall. He's just the perfect person you want to introduce to your mom. So that let me just say that first off. In terms of where you can find me, I am God, I hate saying my Instagram name out loud. It's a play on Ohio State, but no one gets that.
Yeah.
No one gets that. I'm at as in the Ohio State University, at the Joey Lane on Instagram, Joey Smoke 14 on Twitter, which no one cares about. My TikTok is the same as my Instagram. If you slide into my DMs on TikTok, I'll respond because that's just hilarious, no matter what you say. But my podcast, in case you wanted to listen to a Big Ten basketball and football podcast, if you're dying for that, it's called Drive the Lane. We have a live show in Chicago on the 26th of January at Butcher's Tap. You should definitely come, which that would be even funnier. Talking about meeting my parents. My parents will be there.
Meeting the parents on the first date now.
Not even a date, because I would be like, who in the world are you? But that would be funny. So, yeah. So that's
Wait, Joe, you're missing
my
one, buddy.
deal.
Is Joey still single?
Oh, yes. The answer is yes. The story for anybody listening for the first time behind that. Now I can't believe it's not deactivated. Twitter account that I really just recently, not just recently, but I didn't really know who ran it right away. My coaches made the guy, the person, made me tell the person who I didn't really even know at the time was doing it, made them stop because it was a distraction. But it was really funny, and it got traction very quickly. Yeah, @isjoeysingle on Twitter doesn't really exist anymore, but it was really funny at the time.
It's still funny now.
Yeah, I mean, they should just throw a yes out there every once in a while. That'd be funny.
I will say, it says this account doesn't exist.
See, good.
Damn.
Good.
I'm gonna start a new one. Fine.
Is the Joey Lane still single?
There we go. Wait, I'm actually gonna start that tonight. I'm gonna put on my
Not still,
list.
is the Joey Lane single, not still single. Correction.
Yeah,
Sam,
that makes it sound so bad.
Sam, where can everybody slide into your DMs with their profiles public and listen to your wonderful podcast, Elevation
Well,
Nation?
we have a couple podcasts with Alana and her other half, Carly, on @elevationnation_IO. If you're really trying to get my attention, it's probably best to go through that Instagram account, because Parker, my co-host, reads all of them, and he'll definitely tell me if you DM the Elevation Nation about dating me. So that's honestly your best bet. If you, for some reason, want to follow me, I don't even know what my Instagram is. I think it's Sam_P_Panitch at Instagram.
Why is it
Joey's
that,
laughing?
Sam?
That's my name. Joey's laughing at my name.
I think you
Is
should
your middle
rebrand.
name-
You should rebrand to the Sam Panitch.
I think you're right.
That sounds so much better.
Does your middle name start with a P?
Yeah, it does, Joey. My middle name does start with a P. You've been my friend for a while.
Peter?
Can we get? Oh,
It's not Peter. That's not Jewish at all.
is it Paul?
That's also not
That's
Jewish.
even less Jewish.
Those are
It's
two
Pedro.
saints. It's Pedro.
It's Pedro. Is it Post Malone?
It is Post Malone.
Panitch.
Sam Posty Panitch. No, but
Wait,
yeah,
no,
reach
don't
out.
tell us. Don't tell us. Hold on.
Golly, this is brutal.
Sam Preston, not Jewish. What are names that start with P? Okay, fine. Tell us.
Philip,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I knew that.
That's a classic.
you knew that. Come on, guys.
Do you guys know my middle name?
No, I don't.
It starts with an L.
Lima bean.
Loser?
How'd you know?
Those are both two really good guesses.
Wait, Joey, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said loser.
Yeah. Alana, loser, lima bean. Done.
Is it Lily?
It is not Lily.
Lindsay.
No.
Good guess, Sam.
Larissa.
Lego?
No. I have a cousin named Larissa, though. How'd you know?
Is it not Lego?
No. Okay. I'll do a middle name reveal on the next episode. Let's let the people go on with their lives.
God, if you're still listening, God bless you.
Wait. But Elevation Nation, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. I think that's what Sam was about to say next.
This is why Alana's my PR woman, lady girl.
Am I that?
Thank you, Alana.
Woman, lady, girl. Anything else to shout out, or let's give everyone their lives back?
Just, live life. Ask us questions. If you need anything, slide into Alana's DMs.
All right.
No. slide into their
We're done.
DMs.
Thanks,
Okay,
Alana.
bye.
This was
Thanks
so
for
fun.
listening. Stay tuned for the next one. Follow them.